One, two.
I'm out at Canterbury Caravans in Victoria and I'm with James Field. He's the Chief Technical Officer of Caravan Industry Association of Australia. And look, James is going to take us through aftermarket accessories to caravans and campers and motorhomes and what the implications are. I mean, James, is it just a case of me just bolting on a toolbox or whatever I want?
What we always recommend is that the consumer consults and goes to a reputable service agent or repair agent to get any accessories and modifications done, and hopefully they're also done in consultation with their manufacturer, because a product is built at the time by a caravan manufacturer or a motorhome manufacturer under certain design rules, the Australian design rules, and all those things cover things like weights and ratings, dimensional requirements. And by you fitting something like a toolbox on the back or a toolbox on the front, additional water tanks, we can change the overall dimensions of the product, the load distribution of the product, which in turn will end up making it potentially tow not as well as it should, which is very unsafe, and that's something we need to be really careful of. Overall, we want to be really focused on the safety of the product. One of the other things also that we need to be considering here too on a newer product in particular, is if you go and fit some additional aftermarket accessories, you could be voiding some warranties and potentially some insurance, in particular if you're changing those key dimensions. So things like rear overhang, overall length, overall width. So if you're fitting something like a spotlight on the offside, or you're fitting an additional window on the offside, those things can add up to 80, 90, 100 millimeters to the overall width. Something very important to consider.
What are some of the actual rules around this in terms of, the width of the caravan?
So the Australian design rules, or the ADRs, basically capture all those requirements in terms of recreational vehicles for road travel. So things like width can't be any more than 2.5 metres.
And that would include the awning, of course.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Something really important to consider there too. The only thing that doesn't include is things like side marker lamps or any lamps on the sides essential for road travel. In terms of rear overhang can be no more than 3.7 metres to the very rear, or equal to or less than the load space forward, which is from the centre of your axle group to the very furthest forward load space on the front, so generally the gas bottles.
Does that also apply to motorhomes?
No, so motorhomes have different requirements. So for motorhome rear overhang, it's 60% of the wheelbase. So that one's a little bit easier to understand. So what we'll generally find is motorhome manufacturers, to maximise the floor and the layout internally, is they will go right out almost to that 60%. Now you fitting something like a toolbox on the rear is probably going to skew that rear overhang and put your rear overhang over the compliance limits. The other thing that we often find in terms of aftermarket accessories is definitely eating into that payload. When you're going through the purchasing phase and you're going through the design with your salesperson, I highly recommend you consider any of those potential accessories or modifications at that time, so that when it's manufactured, it's built into, as you said, the TMAS, and built into those weights and ratings, so as you get it, it's ready to go. We're not then bolting on or adding things which are essentially eating into our payload. Which is something very common for us too. Fitting jerry can holders, stone shields, anything that's going to obscure a lamp or reflector. Whilst a lamp or reflector, there seems like there's a lot on a caravan or a motorhome. They're all there, and they're actually compliance items and safety items for road travel.
So there you go, guys. 4 or 5 really important points for you to think about if you are considering some aftermarket modifications to your RV.